Hi, my name is Tyler Rowe and I'm an instructor with the Institute of Classics in East Asian Medicine, ICEAM Australian branch. And I'm here today to talk about some frequently asked questions on the Shanghan Lun and Canonical Chinese medicine. Can Shanghan Lun formulas be used effectively without the dangerous herbs? Well, firstly, let's get away from calling them dangerous herbs. Okay, they're not dangerous if they're prescribed correctly. They are, however, scheduled herbs, so we do have to work around them. So when we're looking for a substitution, there's a few things we need to look at. Firstly, we want to match the flavour. Where possible, we want to match the nature, the qi, the temperature of the herb. We also want to match the layer it goes to, qi, fluid, or blood layer. So when we've got all those things in place, we can potentially find a substitute. Ideally, we'd like to find a substitute where there is a historical precedent, either from a text or from a lineage, like the Tian lineage that I practice as part of in the ICEAM Shanghan Lun training. So if we look at a formula like Genmultang, in line 316. Now, Genmultang is a Fulzer-based formula, very commonly used by Shanghan Lun practitioners for Shaoyin disorders. Think kidney yang deficiency from a TCM point of view. And it includes Fulzer. Now, in line 316, there is a postscript where it talks about, in cases of retching, remove the Fulzer and add high dose of Shangjiang, of fresh ginger. Now, this is saying that Dr. Zeng, who was my teacher, Arnaud Versluys, his teacher, Dr. Zeng, he recommended the same thing when asked about substitutes for Fulzer. He said fresh ginger in a high dose could be used effectively. It's pungent, it's warm, it goes to the fluid layer. So that could be an effective substitution for Fulzer, and I have used it in that way. One of the other common herbs we get asked about is ma huang. Now, ma huang patterns aren't that common in clinic. More commonly when we treat tai yang, the surface is already open, the person's sweating a little bit, so we'd be using a guizhou-based formula. But if the surface is closed, it would be a ma huang formula, or if the surface is partially open, sometimes we get formulas like Shaoqinglongtang, which is a commonly used formula, a very effective formula. Now, again, in the postscript to Shaoqinglongtang, it talks about an instance where we remove the ma huang and replace it with xingren, and that is because in Jingui chapter 12 it talks about how ma huang effuses yang, so it shouldn't be given to blood deficient people. If the blood volume's low, it can't hold the yang in place, and using ma huang will diffuse that, so xingren is the appropriate substitute. So xingren could be used as a substitute for ma huang in Shaoqinglongtang, and especially if it's a case of somebody who is blood deficient, which is probably quite a common thing to deal with in clinic. So Shanghan Lun formulas can be used with substitutions for these scheduled herbs, but they're not always, not all the formulas in Shanghan Lun use the scheduled herbs, okay? There's obviously Fulzer and Ma Huang and a few others, but there are many formulas that don't require the use of scheduled herbs, where substitutes aren't even necessary. So next time somebody tells you, oh, Shanghan Lun formulas are useless without the dangerous herbs, you can tell them there is ways to work around this, and they're not all using dangerous herbs. I first studied the Shanghan Lun series with ICEAM in 2011 with Arnaud Versluys in Melbourne. I then studied the whole course again in 2016 in Sydney because it was such a great course. It is without a doubt the most extensive training available today on the Shanghan Lun, and perhaps one of the most comprehensive classical herbalism courses available today. And we're starting a new series. This one's going to kick off in Brisbane. It's going to be a hybrid series, partly online, partly face-to-face. I will be one of the instructors there. If you'd like more information, click on the links below. Thanks very much.